What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another NFL video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section and enter your name into that $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel. Thank you guys for joining me as always for this week's Week 9 Thursday Night Showdown. Now, this is going to be interesting here because I normally hate playing defenses. But today, I'm excited to play a defense. So let's get straight into this. So first and foremost, anytime Philly's on a showdown slate, I get me some Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts can do so much on the ground. He can rush in a couple touchdowns. I mean, he's got the rushing touchdown potential. He's got the passing touchdown. He just does so much. And even though this is a run-heavy Philly offense, you saw last week with Hurts throwing 3 touchdowns to AJ Brown, they air it out still. I mean, and they have big plays when they do. Um, Jalen Hurts is the core for me. I haven't had any issues having Hurts at captain. He is going to be the top scoring player on the slate, most likely. So Jalen Hurts is my main go to guy that I'll be going here. Next up, I'm going Dameon Pierce on the Houston side. Now, Philly hasn't been horrible against the run. They haven't been great against the run. They've been kind of middle of the pack against the run. Dameon Pierce is an interesting play here. Now, as soon as I hit record, Brandon Cooks is ruled out. It looks like he's not going to play. So you're going to have some huge Houston value, which is probably going to make Hurts chalk as hell at captain. But with Brandon Cooks out, immediately you're going to have the value at receivers, but you're also going to have that value at Dameon Pierce because Pierce ran 20 routes last week. He ran 20 routes last week. The receivers were running like 9 more routes than him. That's it. So Dameon Pierce, with the amount of routes he runs and them playing from behind here and him already going to get 15 to 20 carries, I think Dameon Pierce is a focal point on the Houston side. Everything they do on that Houston side is going to really run through Pierce most likely, whether it be dump offs to him, whether it be him running the ball, period. And Pierce is the main red zone guy too. So if they do happen to get down in the red zone, Pierce is going to be the guy they feature in there. And at the end of the day, I just think a lot of this offense is going to run through him in this one. Um, yes, the game script normally isn't for running backs, but like I said, with the 20 routes run out of Dameon Pierce, that's very promising. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of targets to him when they fall behind. Him and Rex Burkhead are fine plays, but at the end of the day, with Brandon Cooks out, that's one of their main offensive guys out of the lineup. Expect them to look even heavier on Dameon Pierce today. Um, and then last but not least on the core for me, it's a tough one. Now that we have the Houston value, I'm really interested in another spend up here. Now that we have those Houston receivers that are going to pop super hard with Brandon Cooks out. AJ Brown, you could definitely pair with Hurts, seeing how well their connection's been lately. I mean, AJ Brown's been getting over a 30% target share. Huge red zone target for Philly, and they should be able to move the ball and get in the red zone pretty easily. Obviously, it could go downhill pretty quickly. With Jalen Hurts being able to rush in the touchdowns in the red zone and him not maybe get red zone targets, and then maybe it just be such a blowout that they're just running heavy, which is fine. Miles Sanders is fine. You can go that route as well. Um, Honestly, you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna lock in the Eagles defense. I never do this. I never do this, but I'm gonna lock in the Eagles defense as a core play for me in this Thursday night showdown. Vegas has Houston projected like 13 points tonight, and Brandon Cooks is out now. Like there's just a very slim chance that Houston's able to do much tonight, whereas Philly should be able to do whatever they want. So with that being said, the Eagles defense at 7K, you have to think of it this way: you're getting an elite play pretty much for 7K, which is for only 400 more than Goddard. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Eagles get a touchdown and probably get 15, 20 even. Like they have upside of like 20 here. Davis Mills is going to be behind majority of this game and throwing to a bunch of like trying to throw at least to a bunch of like unknown guys. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a tough one here for him. And he's probably going to cause a few turnovers. Eagles defense should get in the end zone. And no matter what, it's just a very solid floor play. I just don't see Houston being able to put enough points up to really bring their score down. And they should be able to create turnovers with ease and really give them a very solid floor as a core play for me. So Jalen Hurts at captain. Other plays that I really like with the way I'm expecting this game to go. Miles Sanders is the main running back on Philly. And they're already a run-heavy team. Miles Sanders could have a big game here in this one. I like him as well. Yes, you compared Jalen Hurts with Miles Sanders in this showdown because it just is what it is. Both these guys are going to be big parts of this offense, and for them to get up to a point where they're blowing them out, they're going to be throwing and doing a whole bunch of stuff anyways. So once they get to the point where it's a blowout situation, Miles Sanders will get a ton of just garbage time running. So a second half, I'm expecting a ton of Miles Sanders. So with that being said, Damian Pierce on the Houston side, I don't love it, but at the end of the day, he is already the biggest offensive guy on this offense, and then you take Brandon Cooks away, he's going to be featured even more. Now, you can make a case where Philly, now without Brandon Cooks, Philly knows, like, hey, let's stack the box, take Damian Pierce out of play, and then what are they going to do? Um, they could possibly do that. But at the end of the day, the usage Damian Pierce is going to see, the 20 routes run last week was promising, and in this game they're going to be behind big, so you could see a lot of that again. Like I said, Rex Burkhead is definitely an interesting play this week in this game because of the pass catching ability he has. Davis Mills, I mean, it's going to be heavy pass, so all he's going to be doing is throwing most likely little dump offs and stuff like that. With Brandon Cooks out, one of the values I liked even with Brandon Cooks in was Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan is a solid option here at only 1K. I haven't projected really, really well, as you can see, over 7. So I think he has a solid game here for Houston, playing from behind. Chris Moore sticks out to me a lot because Avante Maddox, the slot corner for Philly, he's the guy giving up the highest reception percentage. Like, he's the guy who's really been picked on the most out of the Philly secondary, but that doesn't really mean any. Like, I mean, they're just really good. Like, the Philly defense is really good. At the end of the day, whoever you go with, you're going for them just off short little reception potential. And maybe like getting lucky on a long bomb garbage time late when the Philly defense is kind of slacking or not really caring much anymore. So yeah. So really, you're just going off usage and game script here with these cheap guys. Chris Moore's in play. Philip Dorsett's in play. Um, let's see. Obviously, the tight end that I mentioned previously is going to be in play. Nico Collins. Is Nico Collins in? I think Nico Collins already ruled out. So Nico Collins was already ruled out. That's why we have him at 0. But yeah, Dorsett, Chris Moore are my main Houston guys. Brevin Jordan, Rex Burkhead, Davis Mills, Damian Pierce. All of these guys are options. I'm siding with Damian Pierce because I think in the beginning of the game he's going to get a good amount of run. Like I said, Philly's middle of the pack against the run. I think first half you should see a good dose of Damian Pierce, and maybe he's able to do something and have some good success. And second half, you're going to see him start getting a little more involved in the pass and maybe stack up them garbage time points. So we'll see. This is a interesting slate for sure. I think at the end of the day, you put your who you think is going to be the highest scoring player at captain, because I think there's so much value with Brevin Jordan, with these Houston receivers with Brandon Cooks out, that you have enough value to where you can get the total highest score and not really worry about it. So Jalen Hurts is my guy. And then Eagles defense, like I said, they're one of my core plays tonight. I don't see Houston being able to score to the point where that's going to take anything away from the Eagles. Eagles could possibly shut them out and get a bonus there too. So I think this Eagles defense is a fantastic option. They're going to really cause havoc, and it's going to be rough here. So it's hard for me to imagine not having the Eagles defense in a situation where I just can't see Houston moving the ball very well. So it's tough to even decide who to grab from Houston. But with that being said, I got to get at least a Houston play in the core, because you're going to have to play a Houston play, period. And Damian Pierce is the guy I would play. He's probably the main guy I would focus on. Obviously, you could also play Davis Mills, playing from behind and throwing a lot, but I think Damian Pierce is more of the play. Honestly, I haven't projected higher, and he's just the Houston guy that I would prioritize. All right. And yeah, Miles. It could be a Miles Sanders game too, but I mean, you could go AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Um, I'm kind of point per dollar citing Devontae Smith, because with AJ Brown getting 3 touchdowns last week, AJ Brown's been getting a lot of looks from Jalen Hurts, and that could continue tonight for sure. But they could also come in and be like, all right, let's give Devontae Smith some love this game. I mean, AJ Brown got 3 touchdowns last game. Let's kind of give it to Devontae this time. You could see that. So Who knows? It's a showdown slate. You guys know how that goes. But at the end of the day, greenlightdfs.com will have the most optimal possible line on there. And we'll go for that takedown as always. All right. Let's have an amazing week 9 like we did week 7 and week 8. Just huge at the top of contest. Let's end up at the top again week 9. Make it 3 in a row. I'm excited for this one, y'all. Let's get this money. I'm out. Peace.